It might be the off-season, but for our boy Blue, it's just another day evaluating players and getting the job done. And, of course, hosting the South Florida High School Sports Gridiron Report, driven by Marooney. Over the next hour, we'll take some of the best football talent in the nation and some of the biggest names in college football as we shine the spotlight on high school football in native Broward County. Now, here's our boy Blue, Larry Bluestein. My boy Blue! And the South Florida High School Sports Gridiron Report, driven by Marooney.
We're here at 9:05 right here, and we will take you until 10 o'clock. But we turn our attention first to a team that will be kicking it off for real on Sunday. And they'll do it in front of a nationally televised audience, ESPN, 3 o'clock. University School with Coach Roger Harriet will take his team out of state and up to Ohio to play Trotwood. That'll be at 3 o'clock. On Sunday, ESPN will have it, and somebody who's going to be playing a key role in that is a senior and one of the top receivers, not only in South Florida and the state, one in the country, is Jordan Cunningham, and he joins us this evening. How you doing, Jordan?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Well, you know what? It was not too long ago. You were that sophomore, that young guy everybody was talking about, Coach Beard saying, listen, this kid's got some promise, keep an eye on him. We've kept an eye on you, and now you're going to be a senior, and now you are a senior, and you have an opportunity to kick this thing off in style. Talk about, first of all, what the summer was like, and then give us a little bit of insight how much energy is building up inside you, getting a chance to take a plane ride and playing on national TV.
Well, our summer was great. We had a lot of workouts every day, running, conditioning, lifting weights, and just bonding as a team. We definitely feel prepared and ready for this game, and you just got to go out there and execute. But we look at it as another game, and as long as the defense flies to the ball, receivers catch the ball, quarterback makes the right read, it's just another game to us, and we should come out on top.
2 years ago, in the state championship game, it was one of those games that, I mean, no matter how long you live on this earth, you're always going to point back to that game, no matter how many championships you win at the high school level, collegiately or professionally. That's a game you're always going to look back at. Here's a team that nobody had really ever heard much of, rising through adversity, coming through a lot of things throughout the season, relying on a lot of young kids to get it done. Do you remember that game? Is it vivid to you, or was it seems like it was a dream?
Nah, I'll never forget that game. It was one of the best games that I've ever been a part of. It's gone down as one of the best games in high school football, and I always remember that game and the different things that we had to overcome throughout the game and the adversity. Being down 14 points and all that. It was a great experience to come back and fight through that.
Yeah.
But at U School, we're not all about just state championships and football and X's and O's. We're also about growing into a man and being a positive role model. And like Coach Harriet says, he always says that the most dangerous man is a family man. So.
Yeah, and listen, well put. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, you brought that up. I think that's very vital, because there's a lot of young kids that listen to this show, a lot of kids that just got into high school. Talk about, your commitment, not just on the football field and in the classroom, but being a productive member of society.
Yeah, it's definitely in the classroom and on the field, but as well as just being a good person and someone that when you step into a room, they just feel your presence and your vibe, that you're a good person and you mean well, that you're not just there for yourself. You're there to be a positive role model to others and in society as well. So
yeah, I like it.
Coach Harriet always preaches that to us pretty much every day.
Yeah, I like to hear that, Jordan. Jordan Cunningham joining us from University School. They're getting an opportunity to go up to play on national TV. Last year kind of tough because you had so many district games, and you only really got to play 2 games that were, games outside the district. This year, a little bit more challenging schedule as far as teams outside. What other teams you guys are going to get a chance to play this year?
We play Cocoa, Leesburg, Island Coast. We go up there next week after Trotwood. Play a bunch of different teams. Chaminade.
That's your district.
Yeah, Dunbar.
Yeah, oh, nice! Wow, that is a challenging schedule, and I know it's good to get an opportunity to see some different teams. I know that during the summer you play a little 7-on-7s, keep that bond going. I know you have a lot of workouts with the kids, your teammates as well. Did you get an opportunity to do any college tours this summer?
Yes, I went to Stanford, FSU. And I'm still working on different visits.
Now, when you go, obviously, the academics are first and foremost. And do you really? I mean, because I've never been on a visit like that. I mean, what are some of the priorities did they take you through all the parts that you need to see?
Well, some of the priorities that I look into is definitely the academics, but not just what they're going to give to me while I'm there for 3-4 years. Maybe 5 years, but the success that I would have after that and different job opportunities and internships that they will set me up with.
Good stuff. Well, can't wish you enough luck. I know you guys are going to have a great time up there. We'll catch up with you during the season, I know, and you've done some great things. A lot of people have said some tremendous things about you, not just as a football player, but as a person, and I think when all's said and done, that probably means the most. Jordan Cunningham, thank you so much for joining us. Have a safe trip, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks for having me.
Okay, Jordan Cunningham joining us, and I'll tell you what, you couldn't find probably a more well-rounded young man. You hear it for yourself, academic kid in the 4s, a grade point average, big-time athlete. He's got it going. A couple years ago we had one just like that, the kid Lyons, who went out to Stanford coincidentally to play for Stanford last year as a safety, and Hey, listen, it's not, sometimes, some point in your life, this football stuff is going to come to an end. You're going to have a fallback. Speaking about fallbacks, and a guy who knows quite a bit about what's going on on and off the football field, he'll play host to the tremendous classic coming up this Friday evening. When we come back, Cypress Bay head coach Mark Guandolo joins us.
Follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook.
One of the top receivers in the state of Florida from University School in Davie. Jordan Cunningham joins us. How you doing this evening, Jordan?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, you know what? I couldn't be better. Talking football, here we are in February. Come on. What could be better? Everybody's talking about basketball, and then baseball's coming up, but we're still talking about football. And putting you on the in the spotlight is kind of redundant because you've been there for a while. You've been getting this done for a couple of years. Talk about the program. Talk about University School and how far you've come as an athlete in the last couple of years.
Well, University School football started almost 5 years ago, and we're a new program, but under Coach Harriet, we're starting to put our name out there. And last year in the state finals, we went to triple overtime, and a lot of people recognized our game as one of the greatest games in high school football. And now we're just trying to work back to get back to state.
And then last year, the only loss of the year came against the eventual state champions in American Heritage Delray. Not a bad team in itself. So over the last couple of years, your team has lost two pretty decent football programs and played a challenging schedule, which is going to get, I'm sure, more challenging now. Yeah. Last year, in spite of having to play 8 district games, which was crazy, I mean, because that limits you on who you could play, you did have an opportunity to go to South Carolina and play a very, very good Goose Creek team, a team that a lot of people in Florida don't have a clue how good they are. They were very good. And then a Red Lion team from Delaware that nobody had an idea of, and we're seeing that they have 7 or 8 high Division I players on that team. So of the 2 teams that did get you ready for those playoffs, you picked 2 pretty good teams.
Yeah, we did.
How was the trip up to South Carolina? I know anytime, Jordan, when you go away as a team, if you heard, Anthony Walker just before, he says the best thing about team 7-on-7s versus the All-Star 7-on-7s is you really, you gain some camaraderie, you get to know your teammates a lot better. That had to be the case on the trip to South Carolina.
Yeah, we definitely bonded as a team on the bus ride up. We didn't take a plane, so it was many hours that we had time to bond together.
Yeah, whether you wanted to or not, you had no choice. But it was good. I mean, you knew all the guys. I mean, you worked hard in the off season. Your off season program is tremendous. I know that Coach Harriet has really turned this program into one that a lot of people are looking at. And I know where a lot of your teammates have come in over the last couple of years. You've been at the school since you started. Talk what it's like, because you were young when they started the football program, but at the same time, what got you interested in it?
Well, I started playing football at Cooper City Optimist at a young age.
Okay.
And then we won the Super Bowl in '06, and Coach Harriet was out there, and he wanted to get to know me and a couple other players on our team a little bit more.
Nice.
And he told us to come out to university school, and that's where it began in 7th grade.
Wow. And it hasn't stopped since. And I know it must be hard to understand that here you are, you're coming up to be a senior already. I mean, where did the time go?
I don't even know. It just went by so fast.
Yeah, it did. I remember when you were in 9th grade and you came over to me when you were just going to be a sophomore, and when I talked to you a little bit, it was out at Central Park during a 7-on-7, and Coach says, this is a kid that's going to be something special, but the best thing about him is he gets it done in the classroom. Where did that come from? Where did that classroom skills and that work ethic, is that something that your parents have kind of like driven into you from day one?
Yes, definitely. My parents raised me to take pride in the classroom and be a scholar athlete.
Nice.
I am today.
Yep, and you are. Jordan Cunningham from University School joins us on the Maroney High School Gridiron Report. You have an opportunity to work with one of the top receivers ever to come out of Broward County, somebody who's played the game at a high level, Coach Kevin Beard. What is it like to work with somebody like that? I know he appears easygoing, but I don't know if he is.
Well, yeah, he pretty much is easygoing. He'll coach you up, and if you're not doing it right, he'll get somebody else to do it right. So
right.
you gotta work hard and practice and give him all you got, and he'll play the best.
And that's the only way to do it. I mean. Yeah, and he's and this is and Kevin Beard is somebody that I watched and I admired in high school, and then at the University of Miami. I always probably the one thing about him, Jordan, that I always remember was his route running abilities, how crisp his patterns were, and I think that's what he probably made him the best receiver, because he knew how to run off routes and he knew when it was time. It's just that's instinctual, and it's not easy to pick up. Have you progressed in just being able to now you'll be coming up on your third quarterback in 3 years, but like with Gunnar Holcomb last year, did you guys get on the same page a lot, or was it kind of a different time?
Definitely. In practice, we emphasize the timing and the route running, getting in and out of cuts. Coach Beard and Coach Snyder, they like passing the ball, so we have to work on it every day.
Now, I know it's kind of early in the process, but colleges have started coming around, and have a lot of them come around, or not a lot yet?
Yeah, many, actually, almost every week.
Yeah.
And called into Coach Harriet's office and just talking with some of the coaches.
And the average person too, Jordan, they want to know, what do they say? What do coaches want to know? I mean, because they could flip on the computer and see that you could play. I mean, they could see that you could run a route, and they could see you have speed, and they could see your size. What are some of the things that they want to know from you when they're talking to you?
Well, they definitely want to know how you're doing in the classroom, how you conduct yourself with your peers and with your coach inside the office, and just being a good person on and off the field.
Right, something less that they would have to worry about, when they get you up there. Anybody early that looks interesting to you? Not a priority, but any schools that you've had an opportunity to look at, or is it kind of early for that?
Well, yeah, it's still early, and I'm still open-minded. But some schools have recruited me harder than others.